Hey, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Jehan Muhammad. Today is Wednesday, December 18th. And what I wanted to talk about today in Jahania's world, you hear this topic of discussion with celebrities and situations that occur in their personal life with their families, fallouts and rifts and things that happen sometimes with us amongst family members. This topic of is it a successful person's full responsibility to take care of and to provide for immediate, sometimes distant family members, and to become the sole provider for them, paying their bills, giving them money, etc., etc. Is that a successful person's full responsibility? Now, this topic, this is a topic that I really, really would like for you guys to chime in on. And please, if you're watching the video as a viewer, please post your comments and your opinions. Now, this isn't for anyone that, received the $50,000, $60,000 insurance settlement from a car accident. I'm talking about people that are really, what I call first generation successful, meaning they are the first person in their family and immediate family to achieve success, specifically someone that's at least a multimillionaire, you know, entrepreneur, athlete, artist, business owner, whatever. And like I said, it's something that I really would like everyone to chime in on. Now, I'm going to give my personal opinion on the topic and the subject. My personal opinion, first of all, I would do anything for my mother. And I just feel like I owe that to her for being a mother, for bringing me into the world, raising me my whole entire childhood. I had a great childhood. It wasn't perfect. It was some things that I wish I could have changed and that I wish were different. But overall, I had a great childhood. I would do anything for my mom because she is my mother, even though we're not the best of friends, and I'm just going to be honest, we're not. But she is my mother. I would take care of her, provide for her, give her, make sure she had whatever she wanted and needed because she's my mother. Now, on the flip side of things, I'm very grateful that, I have two older sisters. I'm grateful my two older sisters are pretty much financially stable on their own. They're married women, they're college educated, they have decent jobs. My oldest sister is an LPN, a licensed practitioner nurse. And then the next to oldest is a social worker. They're married, their husbands have careers and jobs, so they really, really wouldn't need me financially. However, I would still be there for them financially if they needed anything because they've been there for me several times in the past, and I feel like I would also owe that to them. Now, when you get to talking about second, third, and fourth cousins and distant cousins, and I'm pretty sure, people that are extremely successful can relate to this, that, they've had second, third, fourth cousins coming out the woodwork, cousin's best friend, cousin's baby mama, and some people, successful people, they end up being the sole provider for 10 or more, 15 or more people, on a monthly basis, adults that they take care of and provide for. And when I say first generation successful, I mean people that come from nothing. They are the first person in their family to become successful, meaning multi-millionaire status, tax bracket, or above. Parents never owned anything. Parents never had anything. Parents weren't entrepreneurs. Parents didn't own any businesses. Parents didn't own a home. Parents weren't even college educated, okay? And it's a lot of people that fall into that category, especially in the Black community. And I am a person that I would label and consider myself, in the future, hopefully near future, to be first generation successful. You know, neither one of my parents ever had anything, and I already spoke about this before. I didn't grow up in a house. I grew up in an apartment on the south side of Raleigh. No one in my family ever had anything. No one in my family ever owned anything. No one in my family ever owned a business. No one in my family ever traveled the world. You know, my mother never owned a home, and she's 67 years old. And you know, it's just the reality of my life and where I come from, and my parents. So yeah, I'm someone that I would intentionally label myself as first generation successful. I will be the first person to have really anything in my whole entire family. Um, so I would do anything for my mom. I would do anything for my two older sisters. Second, third, fourth, fifth cousins down the line. Um, do I feel it would be a responsibility for me to provide for them and be the sole provider for them, with them being an adult and a grown, able-bodied human being? I really don't feel like that should be my responsibility. You know, and I mean, it's just one of those things you have to really think. Um, the work and dedication and sacrifices that a lot of people make to become successful. And some people have had, you know, different journeys than other people. And, you know, it's a lot of hard work in anything that you're trying to achieve. And, you know, how much of that is owed for someone else to be able to benefit and off of your success and live a lifestyle that they couldn't afford and maintain and live on their own independence and on their own. Um, I really don't think that's a successful person's responsibility to be a provider and take care of distant relatives, second, third, fourth cousins. And, you know, you can do whatever you want with your money, but we all know it doesn't end well when you're trying to take care of everyone. Ask MC Hammer. You know, we all know you can't bring everyone along with you. And I really don't feel like it is a responsibility for the first generational successful people out there who is the first person in their family to ever reach any kind of success, to ever own a business, maintain a business, travel the world, become successful. I really don't think that's their responsibility. Now, your parents, of course, we all owe it to our parents because we wouldn't be here without them. Even if you didn't have the best relationship with your mom or dad. You know, I didn't have the best relationship with my mother. I really didn't. But like I said, I feel like I owe it to her. She's my mother. She gave birth to me. She raised me. She's the mainly reason why I'm a Muslim. I was born a Muslim because of her. So I would always be there for my mother. She always wanted a Mercedes. I would buy her a Mercedes. I buy her a house. I make sure she traveled the world. I give her diamonds, gold, everything that she ever wanted, ever. I would do for my mother. Second, third, fourth, fifth cousins down the line. I feel like that's not my responsibility. It's not anyone's responsibility. And that's my personal opinion. It's really not. And you have to really sit back and take a moment and think for a second. You know, what would they do if, you know, you were still working at Publix stocking groceries, or you were still a waitress, or, you know, working in the call center, or whatever other job you had? Like, you can't depend on someone else and reap the fruits of their labor from their hard work and their success and their sacrifices. That is theirs. If they choose to, that's up to them, but I really don't feel like it's anyone's obligation and responsibility. I don't. But yeah, this is a topic that I really would like for people to chime in on and leave your comments. First generational successful, that's what I call it. Some people, some of us out here we had to work extra hard. Our parents just didn't lay that foundation for us. Successful people whose parents never had anything, grew up in a project, Section 8, grew up in an apartment. Parents weren't college educated. Parents never owned a business. Parents never traveled the world. My parents never traveled the world. You know, my parents never really owned anything. Never owned a business. I will be the first person in my family to be a multiple business owner and a multimillionaire. And that's what I'm claiming for myself. And I even had people messaging me when I was doing background acting, asking me if I could cash app them. When I was posting clips of me on TV and in movies, you know, everyone just started thinking and assuming that I had all this money, and I really didn't. And, you know, distant cousins. You know, can you cash out me $25, $50, and this, that, and the third? I tell them, no, I don't have it. I just don't have it. And that was something that I read in one of Damon John's books, CEO and founder of FUBU. He wrote a book, 2007, called Display of Power, and talking about the brand and the growing of FUBU. And in the book, he was saying when he became successful with FUBU, when it blew up in the late 90s, so many people were asking him for money, and he couldn't even go to his hometown where he grew up in New York. You know, cousins and cousins come out the woodworks asking him for money. He said, I had to learn to tell people no. And he didn't even want to go around family members and where he grew up at. You know, he does Shark Tank now. But yeah, he said you have to learn to tell people no. Immediate family members, siblings, parents, aunties, first cousins, of course. And the people that looked out for you, of course, you look out for them. Third, fourth, fifth cousins, people coming out the woodworks. It's not your responsibility. You know, and some people, celebrities, successful people, have fell out with family members over this reason, you know. Them wanting all their money, thinking that they owe them because we're family. Oh yeah, I always knew you were gonna be famous and rich. You know, people pop up. Yeah, you remember? You know, back when we were in 7th grade and da 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 da. You have to learn to tell people no. I'll do anything for my mother. I'll do anything for my 2 older sisters. I'll do anything for my sister here in Georgia. Anyone else, you have to draw the line, and you have to understand that you really don't owe anyone off of your hard work, toil, and labor, and all that you've invested in yourself and your life and your career and your craft to become successful and to make a name and brand an empire, build an empire for yourself. It's rightfully yours because you work for it. So please leave your comments for today's discussion. What is your opinion? Please share. And I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.